So you can SlapChop. Now what? It's time to improve your skills. I view SlapChop like a microwave meal and a can of beer. Stick with me on this. It's not a sophisticated Michelin star dining experience with a complex glass of red wine. It's quick, easy and to the point. Sufficient flavour, time efficient and fills a stomach-shaped hole. As simplistic of an approach to culinary sorcery, you can always add some spice. And that's what we're doing today. Add in some spice. Step 1. SlapChop. Gather your equipment. Start with a black primed model. Dab a tiny drop of water on the back of your hand, soak up the droplet and dry it off on the rest of your hand until the bristles feel cold. Lift the first medium grey and rotate it into the brush. Overbrush the grey all over the model in a circular motion. Then follow the same steps with white paint, except use a much lighter approach to the model and aim for the highest, most raised areas. Now it's simply the case of choosing your preferred filter paints. Express, speed, contrast, whatever you choose. Paint the model as neatly as possible. SlapChop gets quick results, but there's no need to rush. So that is the basic setup of a SlapChop. Starting off black, grey, white, then putting on your filter paints or contrast or your speed paint. Now you might notice that it's very cartoony and it looks quite weak in points. What I would like to do now is to show you how to spice that up. Moving on to the double chop. Step 2. Double chop. Following the previous steps of dry brush and filter paint will bring your model to the start point for this next step. Give the model a sufficient time to dry. Filter paints have a habit of curing slowly. When the model is ready, dry brush another round of grey and white over the top of the colours. Keep in mind we're not trying to recoat the model, simply catch the highlights. After that, reapply your filter paints. This round you will notice how vibrant the colours pop and an extra quality to your gradients. The double chops come out quite nicely. It's very vibrant, still cartoony, but that is the nature of this method. You don't have to stop there. You can go another round over the top, but I think that would start to thicken out a lot of the details because these express paints, contrasts and what so forth are all quite thick. So next up, I'm going to explore the shades. Step 3. Using shades. For this I'll demonstrate on both sides. As you can see, a lot of the definition has been whited out, so I'm going to add in some shade to redefine it. But on this side I'm going to be doing the full SlapChop paint, then add in the shade, just to show you how the difference between the two. This is a very self-explanatory section. Try not to be rigid in your process. Allow yourself space to experiment. Here I'm using shades to alter the saturation and brightness of the colours. It will also help redefine the overbrushing. Since I'm in an experimental mood, I'm going to shade over a bright grey primed model to see what effect it will have when colour hits the model. After doing the both sides of this model with shade to start with, colour on top, and colour first, shade on top, I can't really see much of a difference between the both sides. Though it has darkened this model down a lot, it could benefit from a double chop, but I'm not going to do that. I just moved straight onto this one here that I primed completely bright grey, then shaded it, and then added the colours on afterwards. This comes out really vibrant, but again it's that cartoony look. I'm going to move on now to talking about colour. Step 4. Using colours. There is nothing stopping you from using the filter paints before dry brushing. This will add a bit of interest in the shadow areas. Here I'm using purple as it features blue. With yellow on the other side of the colour wheel, I'll apply it to the top of the model. This will bring warmth to the highlights. For the brown of the wolf fur, I'm mixing orange into the shadow and yellow into the highlight. With the goblin skin, I've mixed two different greens, then a yellow. Doing this when the paint is still wet will help the colours blend. Try not to leave the paint too long to dry, as you will risk tearing the paint. After a course of double chop, the second round of paint will pop. The translucent properties of the filter paints will work on top of each other. Experiment with what works well together. You can always use a colour wheel for inspiration. Now, colour theory is not that daunting. You don't have to be an expert in it. You just need to download a free copy of a colour wheel and see what's opposite, and that's a good starting point. So I've used purple at the bottom and I've highlighted with yellow on the top. Another important thing to remember, you don't have to just use the colours out the pots. You can mix them together. And quite often some of these colours are already decided for you. For instance, the green of the goblin skin. But I used yellow in on the highlight just to start pushing the colours around. So next up, we're going to look at metal chop. Step 5. Metal chop. Metal chop is an alternative to using grey and white paint. Start with a dark silver overbrush. Leave the black in the recesses, then gently dry brush a lighter silver over the top. The same can be done with dark bronze and bright gold. This will add a different warmth to your paints. When you use a filter paint over the top, it will show the metallic sheen through and give your chosen colour a metallic finish. And yes, it can be double chopped to give the colour an extra oomph. Perfect for individual sections or a full armoured outfit. Now you are a SlapChop legend. Time to add some spice. With metal chop covered in both silver and gold, just to show the difference in tones, it's time to put all of those things together and add an extra little bit of spice on this particular Space Marine. Step 6. Spice Marine. Using the previous steps, I'm starting with the purple for the undercolour in the lower shadow and orange for the upper shadow. You can see the effect of the pre-colour step at the moment I dry brush on the grey, working up in brightness to pure white on a decreasing surface area. The chest Aquila will get a pre-coat of brown. This will help the depth of the gold later. The same goes to the other gold elements. The bottom half of the armour, I'm going to mix purple into the blue. The top half, I will mix green. When starting the double chop, it's a great time to add metal chop on selected areas. The second run of paint, I'm not mixing any colour, just letting the filters do its own work. To combat any extra brightness and redefine any lost definition, I'll drop some black shade wash into the areas that need calmed. For a little extra spice, you can incorporate some weathering. A small corner torn off a sponge, dipped into Rhinox hide, then carefully dab a few spots around the areas that would receive battle damage. Inside those dark marks, paint a little bit of silver, leaving the brown as a frame. Edge highlighting is another way to spice up your SlapChop. You'll learn quickly it isn't difficult to do. It doesn't need to be an extreme, just the highest facing edges. The trick is to tilt your model or brush, whichever is easier, and use the side of the brush to apply a light layer of paint. You can mix in a brighter tone and go over it again, but even lighter and on less area. This will elevate your SlapChop and encourage you to try more techniques. And to round it all up, I have this Spice Marine. For this model, I've gone SlapChop, double SlapChop, dropped some shade in there. I've done a bit of metal chop, and to spice it up that extra bit, I've done weathering and edge highlighting. Two little techniques that are simple to do. You can perfect it and make it look awesome, or you can just start off basic, but adding things on top of your SlapChop will increase the overall look. I'm quite chuffed with this model, and I think you would be too if you tried the same thing. You could do all of the steps or some of the steps. Leave a comment below and tell us if you've tried any of these techniques yourself. Until the next video, thanks for watching and take care.